Hello, welcome to another day in the arena for our free-to-play Young CGB account, trying to create the best free-to-play experience in Magic Arena. That's the goal. We got a 750, I don't dare re-roll, but it's 30 red or green spells. Well, red or green isn't one of the guilds of Ravnica, but maybe we can try a guild with green in it. So, since it's up to me, how about we try out Selesnya for the day? Do we have a Selesnya deck already down here? We do. The Auras of Majesty, but this deck has a lot of problems. Usually very early in your career, you like auras. You put them on something and you have a big creature and you feel like you did it. The more you learn about Magic, the quicker you learn that auras are pretty bad. It doesn't take many games in the arena before you try to put a Sarah's Wings on your Danitha Capetian, and the opponent taps one little mana, says shock, and you have no Danitha Capetian and no Sarah's Wings, and life is sad. I don't really plan to or think there's a good upgrade right now for the Aura deck. I think I've got to build something from scratch in this particular case. What green and white are best at are going wide. Token strategies, as they might be most known, or just zoo strategies, a lot of attacking creatures. I'm going to look into probably the token strategy for a little while. Hopefully I have enough to get close to that. Martyr of Dusk makes a token, but if not, we can go back to the just play all these awesome creatures side of things. Seal Away with its exile clause is often better than taking Vengeance, although they do a very similar thing. It also has Flash. This is a sorcery, so just so you know, Seal Away is usually a lot better. We don't want too many removal spells in what would be a token deck, because, well, we gotta make a lot of dorks. We do get this Make a Stand. I don't know if Bugler goes in this deck, but we'll see how many creatures we get. We've seen it do some work before. An Ajani to buff our token sounds nice. A couple of Hieromancer's cages may be wise. And whether or not we want this Angel, it is a mythic, it is pretty powerful, but we might also be crowded with good 4-drops. Settle the Wreckage is a nice surprise for people who don't respect it. And this is only if you are attacked, you for instant speed for 5 mana get 3 1/1s. It's not the greatest rate, but it is tokens, so we'll see. I might want to try out an Inspiring Commander. An Adventurous Impulse is a good way to trim on land a little. Llanowar Elves are great cards if you're in green and can play them. I don't know that we will. Saproling Migration, there's something that makes some tokens. Thorn Lieutenant sort of makes tokens. It has to be targeted, but the opponent typically has to do something about it, especially if they're an aggressive deck. This makes some tokens. This has Convoke, which goes with tokens. This makes some tokens. This can buff tokens. And there's that. And we're working on kind of the Tendershoot Dryad style deck, but with green instead of black. Maybe a Galta isn't so bad when you make a lot of tokens. You can make a very chunky Galta. I don't know why. Drop it. Alright, so here's the kind of the cards that we want in the white and green. We got Conclave Cavalier and an Emmara. We have a March of the Multitudes. And we have a Worldsoul Colossus. Could be interesting. Probably die, but, you know, we'll try it. And we have 69 cards, so we filled the deck. Now we'll get our special lands into the deck. Anything else? Okay. 28 creatures, 17 not creature. Curve has most 3-drops, so probably cutting a few 3-drops isn't a bad idea. So I guess, I mean, the Pioneer, we don't have any Saproling synergy. Oh yeah, we do. And we don't plan to cut it either. We do have a Tendershoot Dryad. So some Pioneers can go. I don't have a life gain strategy, so the Angel can go. How about the Bugler? I do have a lot of creatures, but it's not about how many creatures you have, it's how many the Bugler can hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. we only count 2 because obviously that's the most that could still be in a deck when you play your Bugler. 15. And it looks like we're going to end at, 16, 17. All right, that's not too bad. 18, actually. We can get the 0-0. That's pretty cheats. I think I'll cut out the Galt. I mean, we're kind of already winning if we have a bunch of creatures. Doesn't really work with the rest of the things. So yeah, we're doing pretty well as far as casting as far as using Bugler well. I think I'll also trim some of these removal spells. I never want to have too many. Going down to 3 might be okay. I said Impulse could replace a land, but we haven't replaced a land yet, so I will. And I'm not going to make it green, because I need a green to cast the Impulse. So now we're on 2. How good are we at playing a nice early Llanowar Elf? Not the greatest, but still, casting one on turn 2 gets the job done some amount of the time as well. Is Martyr of Dusk that fine? Yeah, it's fine. It's definitely fine. It's not great. The Warleaders, feels like they just kind of run the free-to-play model. You just gotta have them, along with the Cavalier. They're kind of my turn 4 team. But I do like the larger payoffs in the deck, like the Inspiring Commander, the Ajani, some other ways to really go. So maybe I can cut the Martyr of Dusk. Maybe I actually don't need or want Llanowar Elves, to be honest. Is it crazy to run 2 Llanowar Elves? Is Llanowar Elves a 4 or nothing kind of thing? I think we can try out 2 and just see how often does it really pay off. How often does it let us cast our 4-drop extra early and do the job? That does feel crazy to me, though. It's probably one of the best cards we could play in the deck. Oops. I want them back. But I don't want to use my wild cards. You have to watch out when they're from different sets. Instead, I'll cut the Impulse. The odds of it missing are kind of there. We don't need to put a land back in because Llanowar Elves will make up for that, but we'll trim opposites. And with 1 card left to go, I think I can take a Spore Swarm. We have a lot of 4s, but Llanowar Elves is meant to help with that. I'm not a big fan of a card like Make a Stand, but I have been blown out by it, so I feel like I'm supposed to be respecting it. These play it well off the Elves, too. Yeah. I think a Swarm might be okay to trim. It's like tearing an arm off. Okay. Let's see. Tokens. All right, let's go see how this little Selesnya pile does as we continue to decide which deck we might want to craft into, use our wildcards on. So, I played a token deck yesterday on the stream, on the Twitches, and my first version of it did not get to 7 wins. I think it went 2 and 3, and then my second version with some changes, mostly built around crushing red, got there. So I had a good experience with tokens yesterday, as well as a bad experience we don't have to talk about. I wouldn't mind if I had to go into tokens when we're talking about playstyle. I found it to be a pretty challenging archetype, surprisingly. I thought it wouldn't be so complicated, but it was not the easiest to pilot. I think what I want to do here is Llanowar Elves, so I can Leonin Warleader the next turn and then Mentor the Meek the next turn. I think that's the most powerful opening. We had other options, like Emmara and Saproling Migration, but the power of the Elves, especially against green, where it is very unlikely that the green mage will kill the Elves, I think that makes it the best play. Oh boy. Yeah, well, I got a creature too. But I'm probably not blocking here. It will hurt if the opponent plays something even bigger than the Steel Leaf Champion, and then I can't attack. But we'll put it to the test. Did I wamboozle you, Teferi? A Thrashing of Ronta Dawns. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll take this line. Even if the opponent double blocks it here, I get 2 cards and 2 tokens. And 2 life. And this is a good trade for the champion if we decide to go that route. You. Yep. What else have you got? Another Bronto. Well, we're gonna have to clear that out before Path of Discovery should come down. Possibly before Benalia, too. So we'll play you. You can block and trade with the champion just fine, and draw me another card. And we're doing a good job piling up some material. And you're seeing the loveliness of Mentor of the Meek. Whenever another creature power 2 or less enters the battlefield, draw a card. Oh, but it's probably going to be time to hold up Settle. I mean, come at me. So block with the Cavalier. They both die. Cavalier makes 2 green and white Elf Knights. We can pay 1 to draw an extra card from it. Untap. We have another Warleader. So, this is really awkward because I want very badly to hold up Settle the Wreckage, but I want to do it in a way that isn't obvious. And there's no good way to do that, unfortunately, because if we play the Warleader, like, if we play anything and decline to draw a card with the Mentor of the Meek, the opponent is like, obviously, they have Settle the Wreckage. So is there a way I can match up with this Galta in a different way? If I play the Warleader and I play Emmara, that's a lot of power and toughness, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but there's no reason. I could have run my timer out and let the opponent think. See, this is one of those things where being a troll is actually a strategic move, and even telling you this, I'm worried that some of you are going to do it. But if I let my timer just run out completely, then my opponent might think that I left and had to go do something, and then they might not play around Settle. The good thing is here, if they're not attacking, they're not doing anything. And they're unlikely to attack with their Brontodon and their Druid anyway, because there's not really a good attack for that. So it's okay. It's just one of those things where it's like, how do I get them? And the get them wasn't easily available. All right. So I can do a Saproling Migration, draw 2. I can do an Emmara, draw 1. And if we hit a land, we can Bugle, draw 1. It's like a lot of options here. I still need to get rid of this before Path of Discovery or Benalia should really be played. It's tempting to play the Warleader. I've got a lot of options. I'm going to let my opponent know that I'm thinking, just to try to be nice. I'm going to go with the Sapherd, and I'm going to draw 2 cards, and hopefully one of them will be a land, so I can also play something else. Okay, we got a land. And we'll pay with the elf. And we'll deploy Emmara. And we can't draw because we're out of mana, but we have no good attacks, so we have to pass the turn. Against a big green deck, they're not going to sweep us. And if they don't sweep us, I'm not sure what they do. As long as we have enough resources to trade, we'll be okay. And as long as we have ways... Oh, that's a good draw. As long as we have ways to block the large creatures and Steel Leaf Champion. Alright. I'm going to start with a Bugler. And we'll hit a Tendershoot Dryad. That's pretty great. But I'm going to play Shalai first for the Aerial Assault ability, as well as the ability to pump all of our creatures. And our board is getting completely out of control. This Mentor of the Meek brings me back to the game I used to play, Duels 2015, Duels of the Planeswalkers 2015 on Xbox, where Mentor of the Meek in a green-white token deck was a big game. Alright, our opponent's going to load up their Carnage Tyrant. That's going to require a lot of blockers. And a Rabid Bite for the Shalai. Alright, here comes a big game. I don't know why you wouldn't attack with those here. I'm forced to block the Tyrant with at least 13 power. There's 3. I want to save my Saprolings if I can. 5, 7, 9. You know what? Actually, I have to use all of it to kill this, which is pretty unfortunate. I don't want to lose my Mentor of the Meek, but at the same time, my hand is completely full of cards. I don't need it anymore to win the game. I could also reduce the blockers and not kill the Tyrant. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Well, actually, I have exactly 13 without it. Some kind of a recount got me there. Is that what I want to do? Lose all these and have a Mentor? I think I can handle it. I think I can do it. I'm really surprised my opponent isn't also attacking with the Brontodons, though. Wow. Goodbye, board. Goodbye, Carnage Tyrant. Up next, they do know about the Tendershoot Dryad. I should probably just start that party. Not a land. And I think I'll just... Well, I can say go and take my extra card on the next upkeep. That seems okay. Or, oh, this is a lot better, actually. To make sure that we have enough board to keep blocking if we want to. Play these 3/3 for 2s. I mean, we can't draw off them anyway because the Tendershoot Dryad's going to be making 3/3s, not 1/1s. And John Courage is going to scoop it up. Well, that went according to plan. Long game. We're 18 minutes in and we played one game, but at least it was a beauty. Not many green spells. I have to remember next time to prioritize my green spells, not necessarily my white spells. If we're questing properly. Okie dokie, we got a curve. One, and by that I mean we have a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. And you can't not love them. We do need another green source for this Cavalier and another source in general for the Dryad. If we find those, we are doing it, my friends. The only thing that would make it better is if we had drawn a Llanowar Elf right there. Hey, that's the source we need. How about a source that does both? Our opponent pausing us. Oh no. Are you going to be one of those decks that just counters everything? Well, I'm glad we countered that. But we can't... We might not be able to avoid board wipes. Things that destroy everything in this one. Oh yay, disinformation campaign. How fun. I guess I'll... Well, I could discard the Sprouting Renewal and try to ignore this and put pressure on my opponent. But this does destroy an enchantment. I just don't think that destroying this will actually be what wins me the game. What I need to do is empty my hand and apply a lot of pressure to my opponent when I'm in these situations. At least that's the way I go about it. And I will take what? Well, the Mentor demands a removal spell, or else I'll draw too many cards. So we'll grab that. Okay, hit. Let's see if the opponent has something for this Cavalier. Well, they didn't counter it, which makes it a really good threat. And they're passing turn. Wow. What you got? Probably some kind of a murder, and then they want to do like a Ritual of Soot. Oh, Vraska's Contempt's a good one. It will exile it so I don't get the 2 knights, but we'll follow that up with a Shalai, which is another frustrating creature to play against. And it also, interestingly, it says each opponent discards a card. It doesn't stop this, but it stops, I believe, Thought Erasure, which is a discard card that these decks often play that targets an opponent. And our opponent has the Doom Whisperer. That's really good. Alright, how to play against the Doom Whisperer. I think we'll play the Tendershoot Dryad while it has hexproof thanks to the Shalai. And start making things. I mean, this will get back the Disinformation campaign, and they can try to set up a good draw, but they have to be careful with their life total. Eventually, it might just go wide completely around it. And they didn't bin anything, so they kept their top 2. That tells me that they didn't work too aggressively on that, on the surveilling. And okay, that blows up only 2 of these creatures. It is creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less, which is a lot different from power 3 or less. This is a 4 and this is a 5. So I think my opponent got skunked on that one, so to speak. I could get out the Mentor or the Meek, but I think it's better to make a whole bunch of tokens here and just try to get super wide around my opponent. Okay, that pause. We've already seen that our opponent plays the card Essence Scatter. So while normally I would play the Sapherd, I'm going to play the History of Benalia instead. And if they have another Essence Scatter, they can't counter the History of Benalia. And I guess we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out, maybe we won't if we played around the opponent successfully. But I think it was worth a try. Just the way they were touching the card we don't know when I cast the Saproling Migration. I try to read that there as a tell, and yeah, here's a card, target opponent, and they put an Essence Scatter in their graveyard. Yeah, they seem like they might be running all the Essence Scatters. But this is the card that I was talking about, Thought Erasure. Target opponent reveals their hand, and they can't target me when I have a Shalai on the battlefield. And they play Disinformation campaign and concede. We'll beat the Doom Whisperer and the Ritual of Soot. Whoever saw that coming. My oh my. Slow progress on our 750 quest, but progress is progress. Yeah, the elves really help out with this hand, otherwise it would be very slow. Hopefully I can bugle up that Tendershoot Dryad. So do we play the Sapherd, which hits harder? I think we do. We can always play the Bugler next turn. Inspiring Commander wants to join the fray. Whenever a creature of power 2 or less enters the battlefield, gain 1 life, draw a card. You may remember me from the tutorial where I defeated Nicol Bolas. Don't really want to trade these with a Martyr of Dusk. Actually, I would trade the token with the Martyr of Dusk. I'd rather not trade the Sapherd. So it looks like we're up against vampires. Spooky Halloween themes. I don't usually use the soundboard, but for today, spooky sounds. No blocks. Our opponent decides to take an aggressive posture despite our board being significantly more aggro than theirs right now. Let's send the team and the Bugles and the Sapherd. Wow, there was a lot of creatures on top of that deck. But you just have to be happy you hit something with Bugler sometimes. Lieutenant's here. Zealot's here. So our opponent didn't have a call to the feast, but they did buff up the board a little bit. And we'll have to decide how to attack it. I think I just need to keep getting in there. It's not like I have many ways in my deck to deal with the Lieutenant, so I want my opponent's board to stay under control. So I'm going to keep attacking even though these trades aren't very good for me. And then I'm going to just continue to vomit cards onto the battlefield. Hope for the best. Because if their board starts getting out of hand, I'm in trouble too. Okay, they don't want to trade their vampires. They might have another Lord, a Vanquisher's Banner, an Anthem, something of that nature. So we'll play a Lieutenant and a Sapherd. And this game could get out of hand. There it is. They have been called to the feast. Alright. I really want to play the Commander and then the Swarm, so I'm going to play Benalia now. But there's no way we want to attack anymore. I bet it's another Call to the Feast at least. Opponent reading the Thorn Lieutenant. Probably that they have some removal spell and they're trying to decide what to use it on, but no, Radiant Destiny. That's some big creatures. If they start attacking, I will start trading off. They do not attack. Alright. Well, this could die, but we have to try. So, vampires, what's it gonna be? More vampires. Good choice. All right. I should probably trade up my knights if I can. I should probably do it without showing the opponent what else I'm going to do this turn. The knights only have this bonus for one turn, by God. Okay. Well, let's get that one off the field. Let's get the lifelinkers off the field. And let's draw some cards and gain some life. Ooh, doggy. Too bad it won't be happening this turn. Ooh. Hit a bit of a mana pocket, but if we gotta get through it, we gotta get through it. Oh boy. Who wants some? Nobody wants any. Okay. I guess I'll sit here and stare at you then. Too many lands. I need more time with my commander. Don't kill my commander. Morale will not improve. Uh-huh. Yeah, this is getting extra spooky. Okay. Cowardly. Unreal. Can you imagine what a March of the Multitudes would do right now? It would deck me. Oh no. Oh no! Twilight Prophet. That'll help. By God. God, the humanity. And alright, they hit a swamp, but they're starting to draw extra cards, but that's not going to compare to what we do. $34. Here comes something. But we're probably going to settle it, untap, with 1,000,000 dorks, and wreck face. But the real question is, am I supposed to be holding on to this Settle the Wreckage? I'm trying to think of the other cards in my deck that would break this game. I guess I can find some removal spells. No, those get buffed. I think I need to save the Settle for a much bigger attack. So we'll go 3 blockers, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. Holy cow. You can do it at instant speed, so I set my blockers first and then go to it. Also, it's really hard to touch the creatures over there, so keep an eye on that. I guess I could tap 3 more mana. Oops. Maybe it's for the best, so I don't deck. Hieromancer's Cage, good. Can take out the Twilight Prophet or the Legion Lieutenant. And actually, there's nothing tapped to hit because of all the vigilance, so Seal Away is not going to do anything. But we'll go to my turn. Whew, Path of Discovery. Ooh boy, Tendershoot Dryad. As far as Worldsoul Colossus, I don't know about that. Anything else I want to spend my mana on? I can't hold up a Settle. I could play this. Alright, let's put out Emmara. Library is fine. Put out the elves. Library, because right now we just don't want a deck, but we want to get as much of our hand out as possible. So what's definitely not blocking? You're not blocking. You don't want to block. All right. Well, how big? Don't want to make it as big as we possibly can because there's just not a lot to that. Who else don't want to block? It's not like we can just hand it trample. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is great. It feels wonderful. I think that this is going to be one of those games that we'll try to win by attacking and have our opponent unable to block everything because of the timer. CLOA is no good because of the vigilance granted by the Radiant Destinies, which I don't really have a way to deal with, so. Gotta be really careful picking cards in these situations. I'd like to say this is a new situation to me, but it's not. I've been here before. I guess Bugler's a bit high of a cost. Saproling Migration we definitely want, though. There we go. I kept a land anyway. Oops. Boo-boos. So many land. Yep. Don't hurt my Dryad. I need it. Dang it. It's my only one of those. Grr. What do you think this is? A pay-to-win account? Did you not see the Worldsoul Colossus? Oh, now if I had the CLOA. No, wait. Still has Vigilance. All right. Here we go. Let's start with a cage. Take that away. Mine. We definitely want 4 left over when all is said and done. All right, Cavalier. Well, now they know that that exists. So I need to play something else so I can leave 2 white. Keep them coming. Seven cards left. They're probably going to gain a lot more life than they're going to take damage from this. A lot more life than they're going to take damage from this. Which is pretty embarrassing. "30 attackers. Yeah, we need to do even more. So, 7 cards. Let's get the Cavalier out. Library for sure. We need that. Take the Radiant Destiny down a peg. This is gonna be like put the whole deck on the battlefield and swing. Oh yay! They found another lieutenant. How great! Alright, so we'll definitely convoke this, and we'll take out one of these. And I will pay with creatures. Creatures I don't really want to block with. Library. Forgot that was in the deck, to be perfectly honest with all of you. So my opponent will live, and then they'll probably attack me. Maybe. They don't have to. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's see what they got. Figure out your attacks. Figure out your blocks. The idea is it's an attack to set up the next attack, I hope. So we can figure out our plays after. We got 11 mana that we want to work with, 4 that we want to leave open for a settle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. So we can play like this, this, and this. Shouldn't deck me because there's got to be some... Yeah, I know there's some spells in there, like Shalai. I know that I put like some really good spells on the bottom of the library with the Bugler. Oh wait, we got 3 mana for this. So take the Bugler out of the equation. And we're gonna play... We're just gonna play these. Post-combat. Our opponent's still gonna gain a ton of life. I don't know if we can win this game, but we sure as hell will go down gloriously. And we're gonna run them low on timeouts this turn, and then we'll have all these creatures to attack again next turn. It's kind of a scummy way to win. It is the way that Arena's designed, if you run them out of timeouts while they're declaring blockers. Wow, 3 blockers on that. And if our opponent had to Settle the Wreckage, of course, we'd be just living in an ocean of sadness. But this is so wild. And in the end, it's like not much happened. Unreal. There's Ajani. About time we found you. Anything I can get back? Nothing that's gonna make a big difference here in the spot. Now I can't deck myself by playing the migration here. So I have 5 mana to work with. We'll go with...
No friend of mine fights alone.
Word, dog. Let's grow the smallest of us.
See in yourself what I see
Alright, you got a Sky Marcher. So come on, attack me with everything. Just do it. Just do it. Sure. You know you want to hit the attack all button. You know you want to. Three cards left. I think a Shalai is in there. I'm pretty sure I put that on the bottom with the bugles. I know it's in the deck, so yeah, a Shalai is just kind of lurking down there somewhere. Get him. That should just about do it. Because now there's only 6 lifelink power left. But let's be thorough. Let's not be crazy here.
Be strong.
Hoy! What you got? Looks like the Shalai is the bottom card of the library. Get out of that if you can. I can't get over it. It's just so much face punch. The animation could take 1,000,000 years. Oh my lord. What a game. And we still didn't cast enough green spells. Alright. We're not done. The quest must be completed. Alright. It's a pretty good hand. I think it's an early Shalai. That's how it pans out, and maybe the Worldsoul Colossus won't... Ooh. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of our good uns. Rare, mythic. Opponent on that green-black. We're gonna have to get on that green-black really soon. Land. Interesting choices, like set up a Shalai, Saproling Migration, Thorn Lieutenant. I feel like the migration... What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know if or when I would kick this. Plus it launches a multitude sooner. Alright. Curse you, Guild Gates. Can you imagine the turn if this had been Temple Garden? We could also play the Llanowar Elves. Ugh. Influence the whole game. Jade Light will keep a Foul Orchard. I will say, when I play this matchup from the Golgari side, I'm often pretty aggressive into the tokens because they usually don't want to trade. They need their tokens to do tokeny things. Like, if they don't have things to convoke with, they don't have much of a deck. So I'd usually attack with my Branchwalker there, is what I'm trying to say. But other players feel differently, as you can tell. We can't march until we get another white card. Worldsoul and Shalai might help out with that. See, if I play Shalai, my Worldsoul is for 2. That's not the greatest. Plague Crafter. Yeah, you don't need that. I've got lots to sacrifice over here. But look at you and your Journey to Eternity. Shining. All right. Seems like this would be Chupacabra bait. So I'll play something different. Oh, tapped wrong. Can't make a Worldsoul Colossus without a white. Needed to tap Elf, and then Worldsoul, but it would only be a medium-sized Worldsoul anyway. Maybe I'm better off waiting. I don't know. Well, the world's trying to tell me something. So we're holding off on Shalai just because I want to do better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could take a big hit for this, but what the hell. So let's go for 6. So at least we have another blocker if the opponent kills the Worldsoul Colossus. So we don't have to take 2 points from the Branchy. 8 is a lot of damage to just let the opponent nail me for if they have a Chupacabra. And if they don't have a Chupacabra, we'll play the Shalai. Oh. We're just going to Doom Whisper. I see how it is. It just immediately surveils. Have to do it now. And keeps on top. I think that most people don't play this card nearly aggressive enough. When you have a lot of life, you should be like going through a ton of cards out of your deck to get the exact card you need. Now, it's possible our opponent just immediately saw the exact card they need, but more often it seems that players are just super conservative and don't want to pay much life. All right, we can play this Martyr of Dusk and then still do March of the Multitudes. It's kind of the same since it adds 2 power and then creates another 1, so it's better to play this than... Alright. Well, our opponent found their Chupa. That's probably what they wanted. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think there's anybody else hanging out over there. Do I really have that many creatures? I do. Jesus. Went so wide. Didn't I pay it? Did I do it right? Hello? All off 2 land? The madness. Here comes Golden Demise! That would be so glorious. But yeah, now our opponent probably tries to tutor that up. And keeps immediately. Again. Interesting. And passes turn. Alright. Well, I'm sticking Shalai. Hexproof for my squad. So, are we in a stage where we can just charge with all our dorks? Everyone's at 16, they have 5. We have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Seems like we should. If the opponent doesn't answer the whole board, they die. And if they do answer the board, we didn't do any damage. So yeah, everybody's got to go. Everybody's expendable. So if they have a Ritual Soot, a Golden Demise, something to sweep the board, at least we turned all our creatures sideways and did some damage and gained some life. At least we went out like a G. As my buddy Brandon from college would say, this was the ultimate stamp of approval he could give a character in a horror movie, like a Friday the 13th or a Jason movie. So they went out like a G. Did they go out fighting, or did they just get wamboozled? Were they just not paying attention? Did they go out investigating a sound and die for it? And you at 6. Hope you got something up your sleeve. And the card they kept on top with their Doom Whisperer is... Oh. Does that save them? I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. 9. Yeah, It saves them barely. But we'll get the Inspiring Commander out there and go bigger. We can also pump the team with Shalai here. A few pumps with Shalai ought to really mess him up. So what else you got? I wonder, did I miss lethal with Shalai? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I did not miss lethal. Could have blocked everything. Could have taken out a chunk of it. These would have lived. But yeah, probably would have been better to use the Shalai there. So this attack certainly implies to me that the opponent has a way to get it back from the graveyard. So I'll just chump it, or just not even at all. No blocks, it's fine. That would have depended on how bad I needed the lifelinker. Oh, another one. That's even crazier. And you kept the tapped one. All right, more bugs. Fun, but I guess I should. Should I draw with Inspiring Commander or pump with Shalai? I feel like pumping with Shalai is the highest reward right now. The opponent will find a way to kill Shalai eventually, and they have to kill Shalai before they can kill the commander or do anything else. So if we start pumping, we may not get another chance. Okay. Can't kill that.
Before I make you disappear.
6 mana. No good targets really for the Vraska's Minus. I would probably plus it and try to push for that ultimate, because then if you can get to one creature more than me, you win, I guess. And the Fine Broker, okay. Keep them coming. Oh god, we're gonna have another one of these games.
Don't dwell on what's about to happen.
Sacrifice the other Ajani. Don't sacrifice your land. You're gonna need all that land. I mean, you plan to play another one of these anyway. Keep those out of it. Not attacking Vraska either. I'm going for you. Let's see if they know, or at least respect, that we have another pump from Shalai coming. Depends on how they use these bugs, I think. Oh, yeah, they're stacking up, but I don't think they're stacking up enough. Let's see if they realize it before it's all said and done. All right. Piling on. Still some awkward blocks there. Yep. And Ajani again, I'm sure. Let's see what happens. God. What a day of gaming. Selesnya, you better love these kinds of games. I mean, you can't hit anything of mine with the Vraska because of Shalai. Yes, Shalai is locking you down. Oh. Our opponent shows up with a necrotic wound. Just in the nick of time. That is a perfect card for the moment, for sure. Now you're coming for the elves. Good choice. Limits my mana. What else? I mean, surely you're still going to play Ajani. Welcome to Ajani spam. But now we've got the commander. I have to use the commander as much as I can this turn. So, let's tap these for mana and start with a little bugling. Hey, land. That's what we need. Another bugler? Is that the right play? Probably. So we can get like a Tendershoot Dryad or something. Because I have a feeling this commander is going to die now that it's not protected anymore. Yeah, the Path of Discovery is good. I'm going to tap this because, like I said, pretty sure it's going to die. And we need a green. Alright, the lands are coming. That's nice.
Alive for alive.
So, what next? Dear God, I feel a lot of pressure. Keep this whole thing rolling. Yeah, you can have this bugler. Like, this is a real test. Will I run out of things to actually say on one of my videos? For those of you keeping up on the soda day, this is day 2, as I'm recording this without caffeine or and with a much reduced amount of sugar and no soda sugar in my bloodstream. So I feel fortunate to be awake. No lie. Yep, keep it coming. Holy cow. Yeah, except now the opponent will never tap anything if I keep this. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to graveyard it. I think the opponent playing around it just means it doesn't matter, and especially with this card in our hand. We kind of need our opponent to come at us someday. But yeah, accumulate resources, get stuff onto the battlefield. That's the priority for a while. I think Vraska cast down on the commander. Good choice. They're trying to cut the head off the snake here. Minus Vraska on the mentor, perhaps? No?
Pain is weakness, leaving the body.
Okay. Trying to take that thing up to ultimate, but man, can I surprise them if they go there. Alright, so the idea is the ultimate Vraska, and hopefully we can settle the wreckage on a grand attack. But I don't... My opponent's already sacrificing insects to his Zoni. Maybe they don't plan to take that route at all. I mean, sacking the insects to his Zoni tells me that they're not trying to outswarm me. Although it seems like that's a line they could take. They don't even have to attack with everything. If they have the only flyer, they can just send the Doom Whisperer. And maybe that was a good reason that I should have kept the seal away if I'd thought through absolutely every inch of that. How do I win? I already lost my Shalai, my commander. I still have a Tendershoot Dryad. But I'm pretty low on my best cards, to be honest, and we can guess from the stretch earlier in the game that it's going to be a while before we draw non-land cards anymore. I guess that's a guaranteed hit, so I'll keep it on the top. Yep, and I wouldn't have hit otherwise. So... nothing like being good conservative there. All right. We still have March of the Multitudes, don't we? No, we used it. And the Worldsoul Colossus. Yeah, we might have a lot of trouble on this one. I might be out of tricks. Plus, I'm sure my opponent has more ways to get his Oni back. And they decided to destroy a Bugler, not the Mentor or the Meek. I'm pretty surprised by that play. Seems like Mentor drawing me a lot of cards would cause, I don't know, a few more alarm bells. Oh, I do have a Make a Stand yet. That could really hammer him. Alright, more bugs. Maybe. I mean, you can start attacking with that Doom Whisperer. I think you could have a few turns ago. But they are super thinkers, so... yeah, they... just no interest. No interest whatsoever in using that Doom Whisperer. So what else could happen here? I mean, what could they even be thinking about? We know their whole hand, we see their whole board, they pass their attack step. I think it is your go appropriate, since there's absolutely nothing they're doing over there. Keep the train going. Library. More creatures is good. Opponent's already burning timeouts on our turn now, too. Maybe they're as in the tank as I am these days. Migration, that can go very wide next turn. More creatures that are good. And no attacks continued. As the staring match is reaching epic proportions, and this video may reach an epic length. Holy cow. Sorry! It's hard for me to do all the young CDD quests in under 20 minutes like the regular video, but dear God, I know that none of you probably signed up for this. They have their Thorn Lieutenant. I got one of those in here somewhere too. Are we gonna Doom Whisper? Nope. No, no. Just gonna hide in the corner. Yeah. We're not playing around to find finality, but I don't think we can. Oh my lord. Trigger, trigger, trigger. Oh, we're cutting through those mana clumps. Library. Yes, please. I wonder if I'll be able to get to my Llanowar Elves. They're hiding over here somewhere. They're over here. I need my Llanowar Elves. I know that I've seen this move. I've seen it. I've seen it. Right in here. I need my Llanowar Elves, guys. All right. Well, that's fun. That's really great. Good design. So I'm gonna need to tap these for mana ahead of time next time, I guess, is my learning experience. They're gonna have to be like the first things I tap if I plan to use all my mana. So that's at least something I can control. We can do better.
Sacrifices must be made.
I hate my opponent continuing to sacrifice their land. I know that you might say they don't need extra land, but this is a very different type of game. I don't know. Seems like more creatures in the graveyard means your ink eyes are bigger. Seems, I don't know. I'm just gonna stop. All right, they know about the Tendershoot, so I want to play it when I can do the maximum possible attack. So I want to do another migration. I'll just tap those now. And we want the make a stand too. So I'm gonna go looking for that. But yeah, that's what I want for next turn. I want the make a stand to team up. Oh, we got 4 mana. Maybe I decline and play Ajani. What does Ajani do? Is there anybody down here that's that good? I don't think so. Yeah, let's keep working on the make a stand. Found it. Not only that, it gets to be hidden. So we have 12 cards left. I don't actually have something to play for 3 mana. How weird. And I already played my land for the turn. Right? I think so. Cage. That might be good. But yeah, be aggressive about what you want in these situations. Mm-hmm. Yep, opponent's still going for it.
What's about to happen?
They got 15 creatures, we got a number of creatures. Maybe I could still get that super attack, but probably not. I don't have a flyer. If I take out the Doom Whisperer, though. Or I could just take out the Vraska with the Cage. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I think I'll start with... Can I take out the Vraska with the Cage? 1, 2, 3, or 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can. And again, I'll tap these first. To play the Tendershoot. And that will leave me the mana to either hold up Settle the Wreckage and or make a stand. And now we're just putting things on the library And we're declining drawing cards. Combat, attack. Everybody for your face. Library. Decline. All right, let's see how you do at blocking. Can you get enough blockers in the way? We can also leave up Settle after the make a stand if we wish. That's probably even safer. The opponent minusing that Vraska and then attacking with, well, they'd probably only attack with a Doom Whisperer, but we have shown them a Seal Away. Maybe they would be more conservative than that. All right, your timeouts are running. You're going to have to move a lot faster than this. Yeah, work on your quick block skills. It's got to be like click, 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 click. Yeah, I hear it. I hear it running. The timer is not visually available, but I hear it running. Miss block. You don't really have time to reset miss blocks either. You kind of just have to be like, all right, moving on to the next one. It's turning red. Illegal blocks, try again. Timeout used. One of the more stressful things of Magic Arena that we're still in a beta. They'll probably fix it, but man, is it intense when you are trying to figure out all your blocks in this situation. With that timer running. The opponent says nice. I know. This is nice too. You're gonna really think this is nice. I'm making a stand, baby. Where's your bugs? All right. End your turn. And the opponent might think they have this. We'll see. If they minus Vraska and go for it. Sure. Knock yourself out. So many bugs. We crawled through all the bugs. Here comes your timer. You ain't got this much time to think. Part of Magic is making decisions within the time constraints. You ain't got that much time. Here's the emblem.
One more scratch and you'll die in agony.
This is, by the way, the best use that you can have of hello. But they're dead either way, I'm sure. It's probably horrific BM, but as far as a little bit of flash and a little bit of fun, I think you have to go for it there. I think you have to. And our opponent, true sportsman or woman with the good game. at the end of that epic war. And that is a quest completed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Oh, it's an hour and 20 minutes. I gotta go. Jesus, do I have to go. But we'll be back tomorrow to explore another guild. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Good night.